moving on to the next topic, integration by parts. So in the method நம்ம எங்க யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம்? So இவ்ளோ நேரம் we were integrating where we had only sin x, only cos x. So இந்த மாதிரி solve பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம். Now we are going to start solving questions where you have two different functions, f of x times g of x. இப்போ for example sin x times cos x. So இந்த மாதிரி two different functions இருக்குன்னா you are going to use integration by parts. You have done a similar thing in differentiation also. Do you remember? So you have d by dx of uv. So the formula is right here. Is vu dash plus uv dash. In the formula பண்ணிருக்கோம்ல, derivative of the first times the second plus derivative of the second times the first function. So இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கோமா? So basically the same thing applies for the integration also. Integration by parts you can solve for two different questions. So how does this work? You have first function and you have a second function. Basically the formula is going to look something like this. You have first function as it is times integration of second function. Then you have integral of the derivative of the first function times the integral of the second function. Adoda motta integral. Okay, you understand? So basically you have the first function. Ipo idu u times v. Okay, if this is u times v, you have the first function integral of the second function minus integral of what is inside derivative of the first function times integral of the second function times dx. Idoda integral. Okay, so let us solve a question. You'll understand it more clearly. Also, which is the first function and which is the second function? Eppadi nama choose panna porom? Ipo you can take this as the first function and this as the second function, or you can take it the other way around. You can take this as the first function and this as the second function. So how are we going to decide? Adha nama paapom. We'll try to solve in both the methods. We'll see which is easier and how to decide. So ipo what is my first function? This is going to be u of x is going to be x and v of x is going to be cos x. So when I apply the formula, what do I have? I have integral x cos x is going to be first function which is x times integral of second cos x dx minus integral of, open a bracket, derivative of the first function which is d by dx of x integral of g of x which is cos x dx times in the integral ku in the dx. For this integral it is this dx. Okay, so this is my, I've applied the formula. So this is going to be x times cos x oda integral is sin x minus integral of what is inside d by dx of x is going to give me simply 1. So I have integral of cos x which is going to be sin x. So integral of sin x dx. So ipo vandu I have only solved this particular bracket. So 1 times integral cos x dx is going to give me sin x. I have this integral and this dx left yet. Okay, so இதை எப்படி solve பண்ண போறேன்? This x sin x minus sin x integration is going to be minus cos x plus c. So this is where you add plus c. So இந்த இடத்துல you see there is an integration. இங்க you see there is an integration. But in integration by parts, constant கடைசியில தான் add பண்ண போறோம். You don't have to add it in between. ஏன்னா நம்ம anyway we club all the constants and write plus c in the end. So while solving you need not write the plus c but you can write it in the end. So you have x sin x plus cos x plus c. So this is my answer. Simple. So what did I do? This is my first function and this is my second function. Let us see what happens if we take it the other way. So I have cos x times x in eduthanna. My first function is cos x integral x dx minus integral of d by dx of the first term times integral x dx, close the bracket, times dx. So ipo first term enna? Cos x times x square divided by 2 minus integration of, bracket la enna irukku, cos x oda derivative is going to be minus sin x times x dx oda integral is x square by 2 times dx. So what do you notice here? I have x square times sin x oda integral. So my question itself was much simpler. It was x cos x, but inge I have got x square times sin x which is an even more complicated question. So நம்ம first function or second function மாத்தி எடுத்ததுனால you see that the sum has become even more complicated. So how do you know which is your first function and which is your second function? So this method is not right. You have to choose your first function appropriately. So I have a trick for you to remember how to choose the first function. So this is our priority list. So we have which can be our first function, ஏகப்பட்ட function கொடுத்திருக்குனா, you give first priority to inverse trigonometric function, then logarithmic functions, then algebraic function, then trigonometric, கடைசியில தான் exponential. Exponential has the least priority. Okay, so how do you remember this? You have a mnemonic which is I late. You see the letters written in bold. It is I-L-A-T-E. So I late is what you have to remember. So this is going to be inverse trigonometric. Apro log. So for example, you have sine inverse of x na, that is given the first priority. Then you have a log function, then you have algebraic, then you have trigonometric function, sine, cos, tan and all that. Then exponential function e to the x. So this is the order of choice for first function. Okay, the other function is going to be your second function. So this is how you do integration by parts. Idhula vandu there is one particular function which is square root of x times sin x. This integration by parts is not applicable for everything, because in the particular function you cannot choose which is your first and which is your second, and you cannot solve such a question. Why cannot you solve such a question? ஏனா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு function வந்து real lifeல இருக்கவே இருக்காது. So that is why there is no way to solve. So you cannot solve such integrals. So integration by parts எல்லா functionையும் solve பண்ணாது, because இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு functionே இல்ல. So this is first point to remember. Second point, as I told you, பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது, like when you're solving, applying in the formula, you don't have to put plus c. You can add the integration constant in the end. Okay, and third point, you have to choose your first function wisely. எந்த first function போடணும் அப்படினு கரெக்ட்டா பார்த்து போடணும். Now you have integration of log x dx. So இந்த இடத்துல I only have one function, but integration of log x என்ன நம்மளால பண்ண முடியாது. So what am I going to do? I'm going to write it as 1 times log x dx. Okay, so which is my priority? My priority is going to be I late. So 1 is my constant function which can also be algebraic. So அது எங்க இருக்கு? log க்கு அப்புறம் இருக்கு. So my first priority is going to be log function. So I have u of x to be log x and v of x to be 1. You need two functions to integrate. இல்லையா? So what is my formula? I'll write the formula for you. So 1 log x dx is going to be first function integral of second function minus integral of, open the brackets, you have d by dx of the first function. Write the formula for the first 10 questions, அப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்கும், times integral of v of x dx, the whole integral. Okay, so when I apply, substitute the formula, what do I have? U of x. So log x integral 1 dx minus integral of, open the bracket, always open the bracket, otherwise you will get confused in the integral. So I have d by dx of first function, which is log x. Remember, this is my first function, this is my second function. Okay, times integral of v of x, which is 1 dx times dx. Okay, so when I solve this, what do I have? Log x times x minus integral of d by dx of log x is going to be 1 by x times integral of dx is going to be x times dx. You see that this is getting cancelled. ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா முடிஞ்சிச்சா? So this is going to be x log x minus integral dx, which is going to be x. So this is going to be x times log x minus 1 plus c. You can add the plus c in the end. You need not add it in between. Okay, so this is going to be my answer. Simple இருக்கா? Please copy. Question number 19. We'll solve a lot of questions, you'll understand. Now I late, you know that the exponential function gets the least preference. So what is my first function? X is going to be my first function and this is going to be my second function. So when I solve the integral, x times e to the x is going to be first function integral of second function minus, open the integration bracket, d by dx of first function integral of second function. Okay, times dx, close the bracket, times dx. So this is going to be x e to the x, integration of e to the x is e to the x, times I have integration of d by dx of x is going to be 1 times integration of e to the x is e to the x times dx. Okay, this dx is this. Okay, இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல integration இன்னும் simple ஆயிடுச்சு. So I have ex e to the x minus integral e to the x, which is going to be e to the x plus c. So when I take e to the x common, x minus 1 plus c. So this is my answer. Okay, please copy. Now example 20, I have x sine inverse of x divided by square root of x 1 minus x square. So basically according to I late, I have to give inverse trigonometric function the first priority. So what is my first function? This is going to be my first function and this is going to be my second function, algebraic function. Okay, so ipo my integral is going to look something like this. So I have first function na first edhiren for easy understanding for calculation, times x divided by square root of 1 minus x square times dx. When I solve this, I have first function times integral of second function 1 minus x square dx minus, there is a minus, okay, remember, integral of what is inside first function, d by dx of first function sine inverse of x times integral of the second function 1 minus x square times dx, close the bracket, times dx. In the particular integral ke dx. Okay, so what do I have now? I have sine inverse x times integral of x divided by 1 minus x square. This is substitution method podlama. So I'll put it here. I have 1 minus x square equals t minus 2x dx equals dt. So I have x dx equals minus dt divided by 2. So this, when I substitute, I have integral of dt divided by, I have minus dt divided by 2 times 1 divided by square root of t. So this is one term. And what are the remaining terms? Minus integral d by dx of sine inverse of x is going to be 1 by square root of 1 minus x square times, I again have integral x divided by 1 minus x square. So it is going to be the same thing. So in the whatever you got here, this is integral minus dt divided by 2 root t times, close the bracket, times dx. புரிஞ்சுதா? இப்ப என்ன பண்ணிருக்கேன்னு, I have not solved the integral yet. So this sin x, sin inverse of x is this. This integral I have changed the variable to t. அப்புறமா திரும்ப x ன்னு மாத்திடுவேன். Then d by dx of sin inverse of x இங்க பண்ணிருக்கேன். Then this integral I have again changed the variable by substitution. Now what do I have? Sin inverse of x times, I can take the minus 1 by 2 outside. So times minus 1 by 2 integral of dt divided by square root of t, which is going to be t to the power minus half. So t to the power minus half times dt minus integral of, open the bracket, 1 by square root of 1 minus x square times, again minus 1 by 2 integral t to the power minus half dt, close the bracket, times dx. So this, when I solve, I have minus 1 by 2 sine inverse of x, and this particular term I have t to the power minus half integrate panna, I have t to the power half divided by half, which is 2 times t to the power half, which is 2 times t enna potom 1 minus x square. So I have square root of 1 minus x square. So I'll directly write this. So I have 2 times square root of 1 minus x square. T ku direct thirumba value substitute பண்ணிட்டேன், minus integral of what is inside 1 by square root of 1 minus x square times minus 1 by 2 times 2 times square root of 1 minus x square times dx. So you see that square root of 1 minus x square, this gets cancelled, 2 and the 2 gets cancelled, ingayum 2 and the 2 gets cancelled. So what do I have in the end? I have minus sine inverse of x times square root of 1 minus x square minus integral of, I have minus 1, so minus dx. Okay, so this minus and this minus becomes a plus. So in the end, I have minus sine inverse of x square root of 1 minus x square plus integral dx is x plus c. புரிஞ்சுதா? It's a very simple question. பார்க்கிறதுக்கு தான் லாங்கா இருக்கும், but once you understand how integration by parts works, மொத்தத்துல இந்த இன்டகிரேஷன் குள்ள இருக்கிற value வந்து cancel ஆகணும். So that is the whole part of your substitution and choosing the first function wisely. Okay, அது cancel ஆச்சுனா நீங்க பண்ணது எல்லாமே correct. Okay, so this is my final answer. Please copy. Example 21. Exponential function is given the least preference. So இது வந்து second function. So this is going to be second. This is going to be first function. So இப்போ நான் ஆர்டரையே மாத்தி எழுதுறேன். So I have sin x e to the x is going to be first function integral of second minus integral of, open the bracket, d by dx of first function times integral of second function dx times dx. Okay, இப்போ இந்த சம்ம கேர்ஃபுல்லா கவனிங்க. So sin x times e to the x ஓட integral is e to the x minus integral d by dx of sin x is cos x times e to the x times dx. What do I see here? I again see that there is a product. So exponential function is given the second preference and this is my first preference. So when I solve this particular integral, இதை இப்படியே வச்சுப்போம், இந்த minus வரைக்கும் அப்படியே இருக்கட்டும். When I solve this, what do I have? For this I'm solving. This let it be I. Okay, I'm taking it as I. So I is solve panna, I have integral of cos x e to the x, which is going to be first function integral of second minus integral of d by dx of first function times integral of second, open the bracket, close the bracket, times dx. So what do I have? Cos x integral e to the x minus, open the bracket, d by dx of cos x is minus sin x times integral e to the x is e to the x times dx. Okay, so basically this when I minus ulla multiply panna cos x times e to the x, inge integral poidum, times e to the x plus integral e to the x sin x dx. So idu nama enna method la poduvom? What do you see here? I'm going to take this integral as sum k nu vechupom. So this is nothing but sum k. So what do I have? I again have k here and this is my I. So I equals cos x e to the x plus k. So when I substitute it back here, so in the இடத்துல k equals sin x e to the x minus, open a bracket, I, what is my I? I have cos x e to the x plus k. Okay, இப்போ open பண்ணா நாகும் k equals sin x e to the x minus cos x e to the x minus k. Taking k to the other side, I have 2k equals sin x e to the x minus cos x e to the x. So k enna? What is my k? Integral, nammaloda integral. So I have integral e to the x sin x equals, I can take this 2 to the other side, so it becomes 1 by 2. Inge e to the x common adutha, I have sin x minus cos x plus c, adding the integration constant in the end. First lende na integration constant போட்டுட்டு வரல. So this is my final answer. Okay, understood? இந்த மாதிரி மெத்தட்ல நம்ம நிறைய பண்ணிருக்கோம், I, j, k எல்லாம் போட்டு. Okay, so now integral of the type e to the x times f of x plus s dash of x. இப்போ for example நமக்கு ஒரு function இருக்கு, you have two different functions f of x and you see that the other function is its exact derivative. அந்த மாதிரி இருந்ததுனா, if it is of this form, if you find out what your f of x is and f dash of x, you can directly இந்த integral full solve பண்ணனும் இல்ல, you can apply this particular trick and write the end result. Okay, இப்போ இத நம்ம example வெச்சு பாப்போம். So they have given an example. You have e to the x tan inverse of x plus 1 plus x square. So இந்த இடத்துல first f of x எது, f dash of x எதுன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So I see tan inverse of x, இங்க 1 plus x square இருக்கு. So you remember something from your previous thing. So I basically can write f of x equals tan inverse of x. And what is my f dash of x? Tan inverse of x differentiate panna, I have 1 by 1 plus x square. So I see that this is of the form e to the x times f of x plus f dash of x. You have to identify what your f dash of x and f of x is. அப்பதான் இந்த formula apply பண்ண முடியும், பார்த்த உடனே apply பண்ணக்கூடாது. So this integral basically gives, answer is e to the x times f of x. So இந்த இடத்துல answer என்ன? It is going to be e to the x times f of x, which is tan inverse of x plus c. So this is my answer. அவ்வளவுதான், simple. You don't have to do e to the x tan inverse of x plus integral e to the x 1 by 1 plus x square dx. In the integral la panna venda if you find out what your f of x is and what your f dash of x is. Okay, simple. Now you see, solve a second example, you will understand. Example 22, second subsection, I have x square plus 1 e to the x divided by x plus 1 the whole square. So இந்த இடத்துல எது f of x எது f dash of x ன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So what are we going to do? I'm going to basically e to the x கொடுத்திருக்கு. So I have e to the x. So second subsection, I'll first split. I have e to the x times x square plus 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square integral dx. So இதை நம்ம எப்படி solve பண்ண போறோம்? I have x square plus 1 in the numerator. So basically denominatorல x plus 1 இருக்கு. So மேல we'll do one trick. So e to the x times x square plus 1 இருக்கு. I need a minus 1. I'm going to add plus 1 because I subtracted 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square. இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ண போறேன்? This is e to the x times x square minus 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square plus 2 divided by x plus 1 the whole square னு split பண்ண போறேன். You understand? So basically I combined x square minus 1 and I combined 1 plus 1. Denominatorல இருக்கிற x plus 1 whole square நான் split பண்ணிட்டேன். Why am I doing this? E to the x times x square minus 1 is x plus 1 into x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square plus 2 divided by x plus 1 the whole square. So I can cancel these two terms. So x plus 1 or x plus 1 cancel aidum. I'll be left with e to the x times x minus 1 x plus 1 plus 2 divided by x plus 1 the whole square. Now what do I see here? Inge denominator la x plus 1 irukku. According to the differentiation formula, what do you know? F of x is equal to x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 irundhuduna, what is your formula? V u dash minus uv dash divided by v square when your question is u by v. So divided by v square na I can get x plus 1 the whole square. So that is there here. So we have verified the denominator. Ipo numerator la eppadi check panna porom? Let us find out f dash of x. So when I find f dash of x, I have v u dash which is d by dx of x minus 1. Derivatives la நம்ம போட்டுருக்கோம் இந்த மெத்தட்லாம். Please look at my previous videos for that. Differentiation chapter போய் பாருங்க. uv dash which is x minus 1 times d by dx of x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square. So we have verified the denominator f dash of x தான். இப்போ numeratorல 2 வருதான்னு பாப்போமா? So I have x plus 1 times d by dx of x minus 1 is 1 minus x minus 1. So when I open the brackets, I can directly open the bracket. So idu open panna I should write plus 1. When I open the bracket, I should write plus 1 divided by x plus 1 the whole square. So what do I have? The x and the x gets cancelled. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have got what we wanted. So this is going to be my f dash of x and this is my f of x. So my final answer is going to be e to the x times f of x, which is x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 plus c. இந்த மாதிரி questions solve பண்றது கொஞ்சம் trickyயா தான் இருக்கும். எது f of x எது f dash of x னு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு. So here you could directly see it. But இந்த இடத்துல அது டைரக்ட்டா தெரியல. We have to think a little bit. But once you start solving more questions, you'll understand it better. You'll get a clarity of it. Okay? அதனால போட்டு பாருங்க. வரலனா it's okay. Look at the answer but try solving it again. பார்த்துட்டு போடாம விட்டுறாதீங்க. ஓ இப்படியா அப்படினு பார்த்துட்டு போடுங்க. போட்டாதான் தெரியும். Okay? So with this we are done with examples. Let's move on to exercise. Okay?